Welcome to TruEarth Healthy Foods, presented by Justin Arnold, Kiana Brown, Tiffany Divinity, Gabrielle Fontenot, Ashley Nash, and Jennifer Simon. We'll begin with a little TruEarth history. TruEarth Healthy Foods was founded in 1993 in St. Louis, Missouri by Mr. Garrett DeRosa. Mr. DeRosa was a young entrepreneur who recognized an opportunity to market gourmet pasta. His mission was to make gourmet pastas, sauces, and meal kits. They also were one of the first companies to concentrate on whole grain products. TruEarth's brand manager, Isabel Eckstein, was instrumental in product development of Cucina Fresca. Cucina Fresca is a whole grain pasta meal kit that sold throughout local markets, reaching 23 million in sales, making it the most successful product launch in company history. TruEarth's pastas and sauces were made with the highest quality ingredients, which is why they were supplied to gourmet grocers throughout the Midwest. TruEarth also had a loyal regional following, and they raised that consumer awareness through promotions, coupons, advertisements, and demonstrations. The initial product development of Cucina Fresca was very informal. They had a few failures, but they weren't too costly in the beginning. The predictions were significantly different from the actual performance. It was one way or the other. They either predicted too much or not enough, and that in turn led to problems with the product and development, and it also led to the new four-step process. Poor product and development during the Cucina Fresca phase led to the implementation of a new four-step process. This process included idea generation. This is where management held brainstorming sessions to throw around ideas. Next, you had concept screening. This is where formal surveys were administered to gauge awareness, interest, purchasing behaviors, and willingness to pay. Also, you had product development and testing. This included prototype products, which were tested during focus groups. And lastly, you had quantification of volume. This is where they used the Nielsen Basis, a market research firm that estimated potential sales. TruEarth manufacturers were in the process of developing a single-serve meal kit, and a crucial development to that kit was the growth of refrigerated fresh pasta. Also, TruEarth needed to promote awareness. They needed to inform consumers about whole grains in the diet and how it would be a healthier option, as well as how avoiding bad carbs would be even healthier, and that will move them towards eating the whole grains. Additionally, TruEarth was considered the best tasting option, so they needed to promote that they had one of the best tasting whole grain pastas around. TruEarth also decided to brainstorm on ideas to increase that demand. They thought about how the fresh pasta had a shorter cooking time, and how the introduction of filled pastas such as ravioli and tortellini would be a new development for consumers, and also the consumer perception. How did folks really see TruEarth?
Why was Cucina Fresca pasta successful in light of the case studies? Cucina Fresca pasta was successful because they act as the first movers in a market that wasn't initially booming. With the recommendation of Basis to introduce a refrigerated pasta, TruEarth's Cucina Fresca pasta generated 18 million in retail sales in 2006, and in 2007, those numbers were doubled. Also, in 2007, competitors, Ragazza Brands, came on the scene with nearly the exact same taste as TruEarth's pasta and sauce. However, TruEarth still had the upper hand even though Ragazzi offered coupons to their customers. TruEarth had already established its reputation of good taste and quality of pasta and sauce in the gourmet market.
How the success of the pasta compares to the failure or success of the pizza product. Pizza, we all agreed, was a failure due to several factors. The price of the pizza was extremely high due to the quality of the ingredients. The price of the pizza was $11.50. The second problem that occurred with the pizza was the size. of the pizza. It only fed 2 to 3 people. And usually, if you're paying $11.50 per pizza, it would feed more than 2 to 3 people on average. The third issue that we came across in reference to the pizza was the limited options, which was costly to add toppings because of the type of ingredients they were using, and they tried to keep the pizza aligned with being healthy. Between pasta and pizza, they went through it 2 different ways. With the pasta, they went through development, which was intuition and trial and error. That one was more of a freelance. They tried to go with the flow and see how everyone liked it. Versus the pizza, they did a 4-step process to develop it. They did different things than the pasta. Pasta was difficult to estimate in demand. One of the reasons is because they had a competitor who came out with a pasta that was almost identical to what they had. The pizza was idea generation, meaning they thought about something that everyone liked and they wanted to consider a healthy option for it. Pasta was difficult to supply vendors because of the type of products that they used in the pasta, being that it was a wheat pasta and they tried to make it as healthy as
market difference between customers who are likely to buy pasta and those who don't. 76% of people surveyed are likely to purchase. 24% of people surveyed are unknown. Likability, 4.1 out of 5-point scale. Pricing/value, 3.2 out of 5-point scale. Products penetrate 5% to 15%. Is there an advantage in being first? Yes, there is a big advantage of being first. And the advantage is being first allows them to have a market presence without competition. People recognize their new brands, and due to the success of their prior products offers to the market, that they would get customers to actually come and purchase from them their new products because they already have an established presence with the customers.
So in conclusion, the question being asked is whether or not to introduce the pizza into the marketplace. We believe no. Whereas the case for pasta, consumers prefer the highest quality ingredients. We find that the nature of pizza is the biggest problem to introducing their version of the pizza. Consumers have an expectation, and it's typically that pizza provides a relatively inexpensive alternative to feeding a lot of people, and it doesn't have to have the highest quality available. That's not exactly the priority of why people seek out a purchase for pizza. The price is a major consideration, we believe. This is where this product falls short. The higher quality and smaller size place the product in an extremely limited market that we don't believe is economically advantageous to TruEarth.